in their first week. And that's really encouraging. It gives a lot of people hope. But then to hear they lived another 3 or 4 or 5 years is really, really special and so encouraging, because it's much, much more than just the short-term experience. And so we're talking with a friend, and he knows a guy who's in a restaurant, and he was eating at the restaurant, and he had to, he was talking to him, and he said, look, I have to close the restaurant. It's not going to be open anymore because I have stage 4 prostate cancer. And, I need to do what I need to do. And so they decided to close the restaurant and just focus on his recovery and him getting better. And so our friend encouraged him, wait, before you do anything, please try this mushroom. There are all these studies. There are all of these testimonials. Just give it a try. It can't hurt. So he encouraged him to take 10 of the Enforce capsules a day. So he starts taking that. And please mute yourself if you haven't already done so. Okay, so he starts taking 10 of the Enforce capsules a day. And then 2 months later, our friend followed up with him, and he let him know that his numbers had improved so drastically that they had canceled the surgery. So they were really excited about that, and he was really grateful and just thanking him. Thank you so much for telling me about this. This mushroom changed everything for me. I'm just so thankful. So then we just heard back from our friend, and this is now a year later. He ran into him again because he didn't follow up really after that. He just ran into him randomly. And he told him that 6 months after he started taking the mushroom, his body went into remission. His own immune system put his body into remission, and he no longer has no evidence of anything now. So this is a year after he started taking that mushroom, and he still continues to take it a day. He just takes the recommended amount. After he went into remission, he just takes the 1 capsule for every 50 pounds now. So, it's funny because those of you that have been involved with us for a really, really long time, this is what we hear, this is what we see all of the time. And I never get tired of it. It never loses its power. It never loses its wonder to me of all that the immune system is capable of doing. And I also got another message in from Eric, who was taking the Enforce Restore, and this is what he sent to me. I'm 70 years old. I was diabetic, and until now, I have not been on any medications. I try to eat a proper diet most of the time, and had been using Coriolis Versicolor Plus, and Restore for many months of accelerated dosages. So last July of 2024, I ended up in the hospital with extreme liver enzymes levels. The liver doctor immediately removed me from all supplements. He suggested that the culprit was probably the mushroom supplements. Though the doctors never determined the true cause, I determined the real culprit myself. It was a different substance that I was taking to treat and prevent cancer, and I was following the protocol incorrectly and had not gotten the proper blood work done. I resumed taking the mushroom supplements after 3 months, and I'm happy to say that my primary care doctor is happy with all of my blood work, including my glucose and cholesterol levels. I've also noticed little things like my toenails and my hair and my fingernails have improved. I highly, highly recommend these supplements. Thank you so much for sharing with me. They're really supporting my immune system and helping my blood get healthy. So I love that, because when we're taking these supplements and when we're eating foods and things change in our body, we don't know exactly what's happening. We can start to question what's going on. And so he found out it was not the mushrooms were actually helping him. It was something else that he was taking incorrectly that was causing the problem. And when he removed that and then continued taking the mushrooms, everything just immediately started improving for him. Everything started going in the right direction. So when you are sharing this with people, just make sure if they're having experiences that they don't quite understand, let's look into everything that they're doing, because we know what the hundreds of studies say with the Coriolis versicolor mushroom, that there are no side effects. So if their body is doing something, it's in response to something else. It's not the Coriolis versicolor mushroom, or one of those researchers in one of those studies would have said, oh, it caused this thing to happen or that thing to happen. So, it's really, really special what we can do for people and how we can help them. And I really love the quote for today. It struck me in a powerful way, because I am one that has had to overcome my own fears in a lot of different ways. Like, I have a horrible fear of public speaking. Since I've been a little kid, and I would be in church, and we'd have to sing or something like that, and I would literally shake and want to throw up every time I had to speak or any time that I had to sing. And it's so funny how God uses the people that are afraid of those things to do those things. It's just funny the way everything works. But Eleanor Roosevelt, the quote for today is from Eleanor Roosevelt. And it says, you gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. You must do the thing you think you cannot do. So I'm going to repeat that. You gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. You must do the thing you think you cannot do. And when you look at Eleanor Roosevelt's life, she did not have the easiest childhood. Her mom died when she was 8. Her dad died when she was 10. She was sent to live with her grandma. Then she was sent to a boarding school in England. But all of that happening to her shaped her in such a way and built such a compassion in her that even though she was afraid of public speaking, even though she was afraid of the dark, even though she was afraid of people's disapproval, that was a really big fear she had. All of those things that she faced, all those fears that she faced, from a place of compassion, from a place of faith, from a place of wanting to make things better for others, from a place of wanting to comfort and help others, developed her into an incredible leader. She became a diplomat. She was a human rights activist. She became the first lady of the United States, and then she was also the first delegate to the UN Human Rights Committee and the first chair on the UN Commission on Human Rights. So this little girl, this little sad, scared girl that was afraid of losing people, that was afraid of public speaking, that was afraid of people's disapproval, looked those fears in the face because her message was bigger. The message was more important than the fear. The mission was more important than the fear. And I think that that's what fuels me as I go forward and I do things that feel scary to me, that sometimes gives me anxiety or I'm nervous to do. I just think that's not nervousness, that's excitement. You're excited because you have the opportunity to empower and equip others. You have the opportunity to save and change lives. And I reinterpret that nervousness as excitement. And then I'm able to face those fears and go forward focused on the mission, focused on the message, focused on the change that we want to be in the world. And because of that, thousands, tens of thousands of lives have been changed. So I encourage each and every one of you, any fears that you may have in your life, make the message stronger than that, because every single time you face that fear and do that thing you think you can't do, you're gaining strength, you're gaining courage, you're gaining confidence. Courage is not a lack of fear. Courage is when you look fear in the face and you do it anyway. And that's what we are called to do when we are being a voice for those that don't have one. So I hope this was encouraging for you. Thank you all for your hearts. Thank you all for being a part of this mission and this movement. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and we'll see you tomorrow on the Morning Motivation Call. Thanks, Kristen.
Thank you, Kristen. Thank you. Great call.
Thank you.
Goodbye.